Yeah, the bros are on time. This is what I like. This is what I like. Punctuality, 100% punctuality is always a good sign, especially for the brothers. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, let's get cracking. Happy Sunday to everyone, first and foremost. But let us start in those magical words: dream it, believe it, become it.
Come on down. The fight is right tonight. I want you to realize that because we were so blessed to have witnessed boxing last night. And we have to also say like this, yeah? Massive big up to the gorilla John Ryder. You know what I mean? Now it seems like he's got the Canelo fight. That's the talk.
Come on.
Right? And
I'll be honest with you, it couldn't happen to a nicer fella.
It couldn't. Here is a man that has constantly just been on it. Here is a man who's constantly just worked. And you know what? He was massively unfortunate. Was that nearly 3 years ago now? 4 years ago? 3 years ago? Massively unfortunate when he fought Callum Smith in not getting a decision. He fought his heart out in that fight. But you know what? Fair play to him because he just kept on going and going and going. So, yeah, it's all blessed, man. It is all blessed.
Definitely. Listen, you always are happy for somebody that just sticks to a plan. You know, this young man, John Ryder, I've never heard him say a word against anybody.
Never.
I've just seen him just get his head down and just work in the gym. He's taken his bumps, along with his victories. And again, he gets an opportunity to put his skill against arguably one of the best fighters of the last 10 years in Canelo Alvarez. So let's hope Eddie can work his magic. And I think that's a good fight back for Canelo Alvarez. That's no disrespect to John Ryder, but I don't think Canelo should be mixing it straight back in there with Bivol and Benavidez and them kind of guys. Those guys are really not going to allow him to get back in the groove. But John Ryder, having said that, John Ryder's not no pushover because John Ryder ain't just coming to, and stature-wise, they're the same. They're the same. They got the same stature. So it'll be a good matchup.
Yeah, well, like I said, I've known John Ryder for a long time, and John Ryder he taught me something. I'm going back 4 years ago when I used to do the show on Sky Sports, and I remember Ryder was in a fight, and I picked against him. I can't remember the fight. I'm gonna be real. I picked against him, and he won. And I said, look, I said, boy, I told my hands up. I didn't think he was going to win that fight. And he said, yeah, Spence, I know. Because I watched the show and I heard what you said. And like, I said, you know what? I'm not even apologizing. I'm just glad that you won. You know what I mean? But he's a cool guy. I've known him since. You remember, was it Colin Blake that used to train him? Remember Colin?
Colin Blake, yeah.
Blake,
Colin Blake. Yeah, cool.
So Colin used to train him first before he went over to the Matchroom camp and the Simses. So he trained and so previously Colin Blake used to train Colin Dunn.
Colin Dunn, yes. I remember I used to be in the gym with him.
You used to spar with him, yeah?
Yeah. I remember I went down there and rocked him up.
And Colin, Colin was his guy that brought him up. I remember Colin had that epic fight with Michael Ayers. Do you remember that fight?
Massive fight.
Bro, they don't make fights like that. What was that? I think that was 96. That was a bad boy fight. Right? And then it was Colin the trainer wanted to kind of finish with boxing. And then he linked up with John Ryder. And John Ryder was, his style was very similar to Colin Dunn. All you young kids on there go go on BoxRec, find out who Colin Dunn was. Colin Dunn was a very, very good fighter back in the day, man.
And
So,
even stature-wise, sorry to cut you, even stature-wise, they kind of look the same still.
Yeah, and they got around his shoulders, everything.
Yeah. Funny that.
Yeah, maybe. Who's this? Hotspur Don Spence. Can you please elaborate on how you think Dillian White won that fight?
We're gonna get to that.
We'll get to that. Yeah, I mean, listen, Hotspur Don. Yeah. Before you try to ask big questions, it's Sunday, so we need collection.
Put the thing in the box.
Put the thing in the box, bro.
But yeah, so the two main fights. You know what? Just so people don't think that we're overlooking it, tonight, this afternoon, there was a show. We was really looking forward to a super middleweight clash between Lerone Richards and Zach Shelley. I'm informed by Spencer that Lerone Richards pulled out the fight.
Yes, he pulled out because but yes, it's kind of weird because in the space of 24 hours, we had two Richards pull out of fights. So Craig Richards pulled out one fight. He had a virus.
Yes,
so he had a virus. Yeah, he had a virus, and he said, like, "Child, I'm still gonna fight." Yes. And I mean, it was his cousin who's now working in his corner. Danny Wright, our guy Gus. Yeah. You know what I mean? And what's his channel called? Fight Live.
Fight Fan TV.
Fight Fan TV. Sorry, Fight Fan TV. So he was like, if you fight this fight and you win, but you perform and you're under par, they're gonna say the Boatsy fight took it out of you. You know what I mean? Yes. So, and like, you know, Craig's a little warrior. Craig will fight. He's like, nah, man, I'll fight anyway. And he said, no, brother, we've come too far to come this far.
Good.
So, right. And so they pulled him out. So I get that one. But then, yes, Andre Bukenya, thank you very much for the 449. You start the thing. Good evening to you as well, my brother. Right? So with Lerone Richards now, who's actually no relation to Craig Richards, but I believe that they're related because they're from the same parish in Jamaica, right? He said he had dizzy spells, he didn't feel well, and he slipped and he hit his head on the toilet.
Sorry, I shouldn't laugh.
Tunde, I just want to know, that must be some, because I'm not mocking because he could be telling the truth. I'm not saying he's lying, but and I should have phoned Dave Coolwell to find out the real juicy. But Tunde, do you know how difficult it is to slip and hit your head on the toilet?
What? Is man's toilet 6 feet up?
I just want to know. A man said that he slipped, and he hit.
What I want to know is the space in the toilet. I want to know the space in the toilet. Because he must have been in some tight toilet to the slip of the bag.
All I know is the man slipped and hit his head on the toilet. So
where's the evidence? Where's the cocoa? I probably want to see the cocoa.
Bro, he's dark skinned, so maybe he ain't going to see it. Right, wait, what's that? New season, same Arsenal has said that Dave Coolwell done an interview about it. I should phone Dave right now, and find out what happened.
No, I shouldn't laugh because that's not even funny.
Right, it's true. But we
wish.
There is a virus going around, Norton. Seriously, there is a virus. There is a virus that is going around at present moment.
No. Don't talk that talk around me, brother.
No, sorry. There's a virus going around for them Richards family.
I don't know about none of that talk there. Them words don't pass my mouth. I'm up in bro. I don't know about nothing like that. But anyway, we wish Lerone speedy recovery. If that was the case, that was boiling up to be a good fight contest. Zach Shelley was definitely up for it. Thank you, Alexander Wilson, for the $2. He said, Regis Prograis needs some love too. And brother, you must be mind reading.
Because that's exactly what Tunde just said, saying like, this brother is serious.
I said Prograis is like an old school general. The movement, the circling, the jab, the dip, the right hand, mate, the stoppage was fantastic. That's how you stop, man. And I feel he made a two-time world champion now, made a big statement. he's been calling out man previously. Now he don't need to call out fighters. Fighters, they're gonna, if they want that belt, they gotta come see Prograis. So big up the brother and put on a great performance against a good fighter. And admittedly, Regis said last night that Zapida is definitely his hardest fight. He can swing. He gave all credit to Zapida and said that, you know, like a true champion, you're going to bounce back and you will be a world champion again. So congratulations to our brother over there in the US of A. Became the WBC champion last night, and a great performance. So big up Regis. So yeah, that's the love we're showing him, Alexander, and thank you for the $2. Back to the card, which we don't want to skip over, that happened this afternoon, which really was cut short because I believe that 2 ambulances had to take, the first one had to take the guy who fought Lawal. Lawal broke his jaw, so the first ambulance had to go to the hospital. And then they moved on to the main event. Azim, a young man who everyone knows that I was involved in, him and Hassan very early in the age. And as I told everybody, Adam is a superstar in the making. Let me just get that right. In the making. It's very important that people don't put too much pressure on him, although pressure is something I believe that this young kid was built for, because I said it on the interview. I said it on the interview that he was just born to be a boxer. His dad never allowed him to go to school, took him out of school, homeschooled, learned languages, learned Arabic. He just was built to be a superstar. And so long as he keeps his feet on the ground, I think, you know, we got another Amir Khan like.
So what weight is Adam Aziz?
Super lightweight. So Dalton Smith was there ringside, and already, you know, man, I'm gonna say man shook, but man's talking about that's a big fight down the road for world titles.
Listen.
Because it's because listen, Stevie Wonder could see that the young man is a talent. He's a talent, and he's a talent.
He swings. And you know, also, his reflexes are nuts.
Listen, I told you, come on.
Because I think Charlton swing a hook at him and pop.
Yeah. Adam is a very angry. He fights with a lot of, you know, he was diagnosed with ADH as a youngster. And
I never saw ADH today. I saw GBH.
yeah. And, you know, he just puts it in. And, you know, I just wish him nothing but the best. He's a young man who probably will win world titles in multiple weights if he keeps going the way. And you know, listen, boxing, there's an art. Matchmaking is an art, as we know, Spencer. People underestimate how important matchmaking is. You know,
we're talking about matchmaking, where we also to send a shout out to our real friend who used to, me and Tundi every month would go and eat pasta down Woolworth Road with him, Dean Powell. He was an incredible, and you know how I know Dean Powell was an incredible matchmaker, to the simple fact that Richard Poxon, boxing manager, trainer, promoter, he works alongside Al Heyman. So Richard Poxon was saying like he learned from Dean Powell. So I never boxed or nothing, but I came down to London. I learned from Dean Powell. And you got to think like attracts like, because Dean never had no boxing experience. Yes. But that guy, he took himself out of comfort zones and he went all the way over to America and studied under the late, great Emmanuel Stewart. You know what I mean? And I'm telling you this now, Dean Powell, I watched him how to do hand wraps. Our legacy goes. You know what I mean? No one could do hands like Dean. Dean was the master at doing hands. I got to give him that. And I'm saying now, Tundi Ajayi, I showed Tundi how to wrap hands. I can't wrap hands like Tundi now. Trust me on that. You know what I mean? So massive props to Dean Powell. You know what I mean? He was a really, really good guy. And you see like all of these little stupid riffs that we're seeing in boxing with this promoter, that promoter, blah, blah, blah. Dean Powell was that man that would bridge that gap. Come on, gentlemen, come on. He was that guy. You know what I mean? So rest in power, man. Good guy.
Sure. Big up Dean Powell. So yeah, that's a shout out. Well, congratulations to Adam Azim tonight. Went 7-0. 6 knockouts, and the journey continues. Just keep your head down. I'm not too sure the result of Hassan. I'm sure he must have won.
His brother was as well, yeah?
Yeah, his brother fought as well, so I'm not too sure. Maybe someone there could tell me the result of Hassan. I fully expect him to win as well. And the boxing brothers continue their journey. Right.
So, what about your cousin was on the show today, isn't it?
Who's my cousin?
Lawal.
Yeah, fool. Yeah. Yeah, no, probably. Bro, Lawal is, you know what? And I see, man, listen, I got kind of upset, when I watched Lawal.
Why?
I kind of got upset because I see man try to come up in the interview, Isaac Chamberlain. Bro, come out of the interview. You're not supposed to be in it. I'm telling Isaac, I've watched Isaac grow as well. Bro, that's his time to shine. Why are you coming up in the interview chatting about, it's going to be a good fight? Let the man enjoy his British title.
He's not fighting.
Bro, I don't know why we have to behave like this. Why do we have to behave like this? Why are you coming up in the man's thing? And Lawal's like a humble you. If I was there, I would have just said, come out of the place, man. Get out of here. What are you doing in my thing? I just won the British title. Even Ben Shalom was looking at Isaac like, bro, get out of here, man. Bro, I don't respect that. So Isaac, come on, mate.
You know what? I didn't see it. Because you know what, Ton? I mean,
everyone now, sorry. Everyone now wants to fight Lawal. But brother, this young man, he's done his thing. You understand? He come into boxing as a young man, come spar with Anthony Yard early days, and now he's the British champion. Let the man have his time to shine. What are you coming up in the thing for? And I have to scold you youngers, because there ain't no one out here that's teaching you young brothers. You understand? Apart from me and Spencer. So I'm like,
disrespect, that's a disrespect,
Just come out, let the boy shine. I don't see you jumping in the next man's interview. You understand? You want to jump in the young man's interview. Anyway, big up Lawal, Michael Lawal, British champion, new British champion. And kudos to you. Keep doing what you're doing. Obviously, you've now become the hunter because everyone's skinning at ringside. I also Vidal there. Every man just rubbing their chops. Everyone like, yeah, I'm coming for you. But that's the game. That's the game. I think when you become a champion, that is just stage one. Now you have to stay on your thing. You get what I'm saying? Tundi don't shut up at Yard press conference. Because bro, these are like, I'm backing my man all the way. I don't know. You know what upsets me a lot of times? Sorry, because I'm going.
No, it's all right. Continue. I'm enjoying it.
What upsets me? Certain individuals amongst themselves, they are the baddest man on the planet. As soon as you get in front of camera and around certain people, you become snowflakes. You don't be yourself. You can't be yourself. And that has always upset me. That you men give it all the big un, because I don't even give it the big un. That's the thing about it. But you always give it the big un amongst one another. And then when you're in front of certain people, you're just like little mice. You're like snowflakes. I'm like, nah, I don't respect that. This is why, anyway, Chuck, big up Christopher Anthony. You understand what I'm saying, my mastery? To just be yourself. And this is what I keep saying. Don't pretend at being yourself. Be yourself, please. Isaac Chamberlain, let that be the last time you come in. Let that be the last time you come in. No. I find it
the last time,
No, I find it disrespectful. And I don't even train the I don't even train the wow. So I'm saying, Isaac Chamberlain, let that be the last time you come in your brother's moment of joy and victory. The guy couldn't even celebrate because you was there skinning his teeth in the background. Bro, I was mad. I was like banging my TV. I'm like, get out of here, man. Anyways, like, see, you know what? Run.
True, I was on daddy duties today. I didn't even watch the boxing. And I said, right, I'm not going to watch the boxing for the kids to come report back to me like, when mummy was out, all daddy was doing was watching boxing. I said, no, I played games, I did puzzles and everything else with my kids. But I am going to watch the fights because I got the result.
Again, let that be the last time you interrupt your brother's moment of glory.
Come on. And attention, Mr. J. Boateng, no, these are dates that I'm eating. These are dates to support the homeless in Palestine. So yeah, so it's a charity that they're doing. So that's what I'm doing. I'm eating dates and drinking milk. Right? No Oreo.
Big up boxing, but he said he's a decorated keyboard commando. Yeah, their keyboard man.
David G, thank you so much for the £5. And he says, how would you describe White's style and what do you think he needs to work on? I know that's what you're trying to say. Both him and Joshua have losses, but who do you think would come out on top? And I'm aiming that. That's an excellent question. And thank you for the £5, David G, because you always support the show. You know what I mean? Thank you so much. Yeah, Tundi, answer away.
I like the way you just slide that one over to me. Well, first of all, I said it from the jump yesterday. I don't really think Dillian's style changed. People was talking about the cross arm, but Dillian's done the cross arm before. It ain't the first time you see Dillian do cross arm defense. What I think was what was lacking last night was the enthusiasm. Because I said it from the first round, and I don't know the reasons behind that, but evidently, Dillian himself was upset with the performance. He called it SHIT. He said it was SHIT. And so from you hearing that from Dillian, you know that something wasn't right and he wasn't happy with the performance. We, as his friends, as his brothers, as his old elders, we wasn't happy with that performance. And sometimes it makes you wonder why people make so much bones about these so-called big American trainers. I don't get it. To this day, somebody's got to convince me, because if I see any drastic improvements, then I say, yeah. Then listen. But when I don't see much improvement, or sometimes a step backwards, I question that. I would say within the two of them at the moment, Anthony Joshua is definitely the fresher. He's taken the less punishment in fights. He's had the first two good fights, not close, but good fights with Alexander Usyk, and he's still got that wonderful smile, that athleticism. Whereas Dillian's been put over a few times. Funny enough, that fight, to me, before the fight, he looked the freshest I've ever seen him. So, and I said that to you, Spence. I said, Dillian looked so fresh in his face. He looked brilliant. He looked brilliant before the first bell. And then it's like I was waiting for something. I don't know. It's his first fight back. Maybe there's some mental demons there that he has to overcome. But we wish Dillian nothing but the best, and we're always here to advise and throw our hat into the pool. But I would have to say AJ looks the fresher. But one thing I can tell everyone on here, the Dillian White you saw last night will not be the Dillian White that turns up for Anthony Joshua.
Let's be real.
Bro, because Dillian has got some different kind of energy for Anthony Joshua.
No, it's not energy, Tundi. It's hatred.
A different kind of energy.
Like I always say, and when you're seeing that, I know that you saw it toe-to-toe regular. I always say, like, on real adjustments, when you're changing train, it takes about 5 fights, right? Get a real, true adjustment, yeah? And are we being a bit too critical of White? No, we're not. Because I don't care who he had in his corner. In my mind, and to my setting, and big up the guys from True Boxing, Black Fight Fan, who came on there and said, nah, my man can scrap. Yes. And what I've noticed in Dillian's career as well, Dillian struggles with smaller guys. Because Dillian, in the heavyweights today, like, Dillian's broad, he's big, but he ain't too big. You know what I mean? What's Dillian? 6'2", 6'3"? Like, in today's heavyweights, that's not... But this guy was 6'1". So Dillian now was fighting a smaller guy, and also what we've got to take into consideration is this, and I'm just keeping this thing 100, right? Dillian is coming back from a knockout loss, right? Now, it's not a knockout loss and you're going back in with the same person. It's a knockout loss and you're training, and no one can't tell me that if you was to end up in any form of accident and you're kind of reenacting that same thing where you was in an accident in that environment, you're going to be very apprehensive. So
Yes.
it's very strong man who can like brush that off, right? Certain man get knockout and they come back wicked like in the rematch, or come back wicked when they're having their comeback fights. And also, he was in there with an unbeaten fighter who I remember the youth from Michigan, you know.
Yep. Midwest.
Right. Midwest guys, they teach boxing. From you come out the mother's womb, you get taught boxing. I don't care. If you're from Michigan as a fighter and that kid put his hands together really good, that kid, yeah, he did put his hands together really, really well. He gauged things well. He knew when to attack as well. And he visibly hurt Dillian quite a few times in that. Because I watched back the watch along with Tundi, and I don't have to watch it unless I was listening to it. So I was listening right throughout the day. And Franklin put in a very, very good performance. But it's a performance that you're not.
Sorry, he claimed it was robbed. He claimed it was robbed, Spence. What do you have to say about that?
Yeah, Tundi, if I was him, I'd say I got robbed as well. Right? But there's intangibles. Now, what I'm saying is this. If they'd have gave it, like how I scored it for, and big up Richard Poxon and all of the team down at Pitch Boxing, well, when I was scoring it, and it's really good, their app, because you can score the fights and it totals it for you, so you don't have to go back and try and calculate yourself. When I scored it on there, I gave it to Dillian by one solitary round. I think I scored it 115, 140, right? I gave it to Dillian by one round. Especially because Dillian didn't have a very good last round, right? And if he'd had 2 rounds combined like that, where he was really trying to punch up my man, but for the two last rounds, I could see the arguments of where people are saying like, oh, Dillian White lost the fight. I could see why Franklin's saying, yeah, I was robbed. Reason being is, there's no way Dillian White won 8 rounds of that 12-round fight. And 2 judges from the UK gave it 8-4. You know what I mean? 116, 112. No, that's Dillian White didn't win 8 rounds in there. I'm just keeping it 100. He didn't. So I could see why they're arguing.
Tommy McNaught, you know what? I just read this and I put up White come from a massive high to a low. That's got to be hard. And you know what? That's an intangible that, you know, we have to consider, Spence. You know, it must be something psychologically for somebody to be boxing elite guys and then come down a level. What do you say about that? I mean,
Tunde, I agree with you. You know what? I agree with you. Especially at this, let's keep it 100. It's the tail end of Dillian White's career now. Because if you got to think about it, it's 5 years ago they had that fight with Anthony Joshua. That's a long time ago. You know what I mean? So when you look at it like that, 5-6 years ago. So that's even worse. So those things, when you've been there, then you've had big fights, the 2 Derek Chisora fights, big fights, and also draining fights, right? Because they were hard fights. The second fight, especially, was a hard fight because Dillian was behind on the scorecard before he knocked him out, right? So we go look. Then we see the loss to Povetkin.
Yeah, and that's the point I was just about to put up. You know, when White got knocked out by Povetkin, he came back wicked and bad. So it's true. So we can't really use one brush for one and what not for the other. So that's a good point. 20. You know, Spence, again, what would you have to say about that? You know, the fact that when he got knocked out against Povetkin, which in my opinion was way worse than Tyson Fury. I was crying. I literally was crying on the floor when Dillian got knocked out.
I remember using tears.
But he came back with a vengeance. But is it a case of...
But Tundi, may I interject here? When he got knocked out by Povetkin, right? He was on his way to winning. He floored Povetkin, he hurt Povetkin. In Dillian's head, he said, I'll broke up this man. I just got caught.
Yes.
There's a difference, you know?
Yes.
There is a difference. Now, no one can't tell me that there isn't going to be like mental demons there because you just lost the fight. That fight was draining to say the least, right? So that must take its toll. But what I do believe is this, and like you, I'm going to reiterate what you just earlier said. The Dillian Whyte that we saw last night would not be the Dillian Whyte that faces Anthony Joshua, because the talk was right. Anthony Joshua, March. I know Anthony Joshua will be pushing for that fight because he's at ringside. I see when he was spudding Dillian, but he said, brother, I'll brock you up. And then in the interview on IFL, which I didn't see, but I heard. So
Leah coming with the knowledge.
Yeah, bless her.
2015. Come on, big up Leah.
Right. So when I'm looking at that, I'm saying when he was interviewed, all Dillian was referring to is as long as the money's right, cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. So I'm telling people, don't think like Dillian's looking at, all right, then I'm going to fight Joshua. He's got a loser mentality to go into that fight, because he won't be having a loser mentality to go into that fight where Anthony Joshua goes. Anthony Joshua makes Dillian Whyte's blood boil. I'm telling you that now for free. Thank you very much, Miss Ringside.
The lovely Miss Ringside. Thank you for the 449. Bruv, I'm seeing $15 come up in here. Wait there. Wait. Sorry, Miss Ringside. 15 takes precedent over 449.
No, it doesn't. Read Miss Ringside.
I'm only joking. Hold on. Before we go into the 15 squid, is Dillian Whyte elite? What would other top fighters have done to Franklin yesterday in a ring? And that's a very good question. I'll tell you why. Because as soon as that fight ended, you see Michael Hunter saying, bruv, I've done Dillian Whyte. So everyone is like, oh, Dillian Whyte is rubbish. I'm ready for him now. So,
all right, cool. But here's what I'm saying to you, Tony. Michael Hunter can't get no fights. So
there's a reason for it.
There's a reason for it.
I'm gonna say something.
There's a massive reason for it.
I don't want to go into.
But I know. But right, there's a reason why he's not getting no fights.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
So that's a good question. I feel that. Listen, it's easy to speak after the event. Franklin, we don't want to underplay Franklin's ability last night. He showed great boxing skill, fantastic double jab, triple jab, jab to the heads, jab to the bodies, overhand rights. He was well schooled. And I guess there is the elite guys looking at him now as an opponent. And he deserves to be in there. How they deal with them, we'll have to wait and see. But that's a good question. Moving on to the 15 pounds. Babu Mud Wadia. Thank you for the 15 pound. AKA my mechanic, Bob. Shiver Motors, Canning Town. We got brothers know what time it is. We got Uncle Bob donating, watching the show. Uncle Bob is gonna be ringside for Anthony Yard. Got his ticket live and direct. Thank you so much. I don't know if this is the first time, but he messaged me that the children had sorted out the link for him. And please, if you're in the East London area, go to Shiver Motors, opposite the old Peacock Gym. Get your MOTs done, get your cars fixed. Bob, look at that. All this free advertising for £15. So thank you very much, sir.
Well, Country Don causing trouble up in there now. Country Don, aka the chairman, my brother from another, and literally my brother from another mother. AJ said in an IFL interview that he would have KO'd Franklin. Your thoughts, Ton?
AJ said that.
Yeah.
I don't think he's wrong. I believe so. But before I touch on that, thank you, Nidra Gupta, 449. Most powerful minds in boxing together. My boy Yard, it's your time. Dillian Whyte and AJ, things come full circle. They both are on the come up again, and that's mad. Thank you very much. It's a fantastic time for us, for all concerned. But thank you for the 449. Going back to the question of whether AJ would have done him, or he said he would have done him, I believe he would have. I think AJ would have been way too fast, too powerful, and just too eager to put on a performance after the two Usyk fights. AJ's hungry. You can see that look in his eyes, the feeling, the energy. And with me, I wish him all the best.
Trust me.
Can't wait to see him back in the ring.
Sorry, listen, on here, Abdin Ali, McGirt versus Simon Brown, a boxing masterclass. forget about it. Is this the same Abdid Ali who is on Instagram? If it is, please go and follow this brother's page. Every day he drops historical facts, and his page is a pleasure. He's the same brother, like he's proper on this thing. Like drops with the bare old school facts, the bare old school knowledge as well. So yeah, if it is you, then go and follow Abdin Ali because he's proper. He's real stuff, mate.
Balfour Awusu. I know he's telling me keep on going support Ghana in the World Cup. Bro, Balfour, you forgetting I'm a Nigerian who supports Ghanaians as well, but I'm not even watching no football. For some reason, I just don't feel the energy of this World Cup. It's not World Cup like World Cup gone by. It don't feel like World Cup. Maybe I'm just because I'm so focused on football and boxing.
Yeah, no, right now, let me tell you this. I usually speak to Tundi 5 times a day. I phone Tundi now, and I'm like, "Chop, I'm studying." So, right. So he's probably on it. This World Cup, let me tell you the next thing. We're going to touch on this World Cup. This World Cup is, because of where it is, so they get a lot of backlash. So there's certain things that they've kind of cut down on and all the rest of it, which to me, I just think is hypocritical. The World Cup's the World Cup. I don't business where it is. I'm watching the football. You know what I mean? It's like today, who was playing? It was Croatia versus Canada, right? And Canada started off rapid. I said, you know what I mean? Canada's never scored in the World Cup. And they scored. It was like one Barley brother that had a nice little header. I'm watching this. I'm saying, right, Tundi, I've gone downstairs to give the kids a dinner. When I go back upstairs to go look on the TV now, they're 4-1 down.
That's how they already scored 1 goal in the World Cup. But anyway,
yeah, Ramsey's right. Ramsey's saying like there's too much bad energy surrounding this World Cup, and there is too much bad energy surrounding this World Cup. But I'm saying that off of the back of it, it's hypocritical energy. You know what I mean? Because every nation has a past. Every nation's got certain standards that they live by to other people that don't live by. So as John Barnes, who I spoke to today, John Barnes said, like, when you're going into a foreign country, you know, he said, when you're in Rome, you do as the Romans do. It's simple as that, bro.
Well, I'll be honest with you. This subject is very, very. It's borderline and political, and we don't want to really.
Yeah, I'm not in a political talk. I'm just
political.
Exactly. Christopher Anthony, the Canada man, had a tampon in his hooter. Yeah, he did. The man had a nosebleed, and seriously, the man had a tampon in his nose too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, to stop the nosebleed.
But again, we're going off subject.
No,
but again, Christopher Anthony, this World Cup
is current affairs, Tundi.
Current affairs. Not all current affairs are good. But Christopher Anthony says, yeah, this World Cup is dead. International football is behind. The league's correct. The game is lackluster. It's just, it don't feel like World Cup. One time when World Cup was on, everyone, every man, woman, and child will be talking about the sport. And it's just not like that no more. It's all changed. But anyway, let's move forward to the Zack Parker bizarre ending last night. I was trying to watch it while commentating on the Dillian fight, so I was not really too sure. But the energy that I'm getting is that a lot of people are upset with the ending. Some people are calling. I mean, I said it. It looks like he quit to me, and I don't know why I said that because I don't really like talking like that. But that's the energy I'm getting.
Expensive Cheese Media said Nigeria didn't qualify. That's why you're not watching it. No. The football just ain't doing it for me. Anyway, don't try and bring me back into football. But anyway, going back to the Zack Parker fight, I'm saying that from what it looked like to me, it looked like somebody that didn't really show any desire. It did like the desire, because I'm saying, hold on, if one hand is broken, use your other hand. You probably got one more hand. Mark Potter and Danny Williams had a famous fight where Danny's shoulder
was dislocated. It was hanging from the floor.
It came out, Tom.
It came out, the shoulder popped out.
Yep.
The man went out the round like this, with the shoulder down. And guess what? As you would say, Allahu Akbar. Bam!
Oh.
Hold! Are you could?
I mean, I remember, that was a great night, man. That's what I got to say. That was a fantastic.
But the point which I'm making is that he went out there with a dislocated shoulder. He didn't care. Like, that's what I think. The fight, I don't know. Maybe it's the fighters today, and I think me and my father was talking about this today. Like, it's like we have to go back to 1966 to talk about an England squad that actually played with passion. 1966. This is 2022 coming on 23, Spencer, and it seems like the competitors in sport, very few of them are actually fighting or doing it or competing for the love and the passion. It's all like, if I don't get this money, I ain't fighting. I ain't putting my best foot forward. And I don't know why people, well, I do know why, but I just feel that the passion is lacking in a lot of today's sports people.
You know what? I agree with you. Big up Ralph Dawkins. Yo, Ralph, you got my number, man. Holler me after the show, yeah?
Thank you, Niraj Gupta, again.
Gupta, my guy. Gupta don't stop flinging money today.
Come on, collection. He says, I said he could be a she. I don't know the name. I'm not familiar with the name Nidra, but could be a she. But anyway, regardless, he says, unpopular opinion, Parker's body language was off. Ryder probably feels weird vibes like the World Cup right now. Man like Ted Cheeseman got more heart. And do not, again, bruv, Scotty, I'm going to tell you now, do never send me anything like that on my phone again. He sent me something with Ted Cheeseman today. I don't know if he got stabbed up or anything. And then the picture, bruv, I had to delete, and I don't even keep things like that, but I don't know how real this is. But please, anyone who's got my number in their phone book, don't send me nothing negative. Nothing. Because I nearly blocked man today. I don't like no negativity in my life. I don't want to be connected with people that's sending negative information, talk, chatter, chitter-chatter, anything. Don't send it to me. Please, I beg. So anyway.
My man, Country don't say he looked like he bottled it. Respect to Ryder. Right. Dotty girls, thank you so much for the £5. Love the banter between Tundi and Spencer. Great balance between facts and humour. Well done, gentlemen. And well done you, Dotty, for the £5. Big up.
But yeah, that's again. But anyway, going back to this Zack Parker thing, I need to watch it. I'm actually gonna sit down tonight and watch this fight, because from the scoring, I saw a certain scoring. I don't know who was scoring it, but they had Ryder 3-1 up.
Yeah.
So you know how this boxing games is. We've both been professional fighters, Spence. You know, sometimes when you're in the ring with a man, you're like, bro, it's gonna be a long night, bro.
But you know what? I'm not gonna question the guy's heart or anything else like that, right? But you have to understand, like as we said earlier, there's levels in this game, and when you're fresh meat, but you're dealing with seasoned meat, you will soon get cooked, and that's how it goes. And
another thing, another lesson for everyone: don't overlook the opponent in front of you, because all I kept hearing from Parker was Canelo. I'm ready for Canelo. I'm going to get rid of this guy and then Canelo. But guess what? Your opponent's thinking the same thing. I kept telling man that Anthony Yarde's last fight, me as a trainer, was the hardest I've ever worked for that guy. That guy could as well have been Beterbiev. Because I'm saying If I was that guy, if I was in that guy's shoes, I'm gonna put it in. So this is competition. So I feel that Zack Parker may have taken his eye off the ball, and if that is, it's a lesson that he's young enough, he's fresh enough to learn from and come back again. He's gonna be back. He's a good fighter. First time I saw him fight, I phoned Frank. I said that kid can fight. So but look, John Ryder, I think how many losses he had? 5?
Yeah, about that.
About 5 losses. Now he's in line to fight Canelo Alvarez. So you cannot say your career is over, or you can't get disheartened, Zach, just because of one night. I'm not saying that you are disheartened, but if any doubt is creeping into your mind, Tunde Ajayi is saying to you, dust yourself off, come back. You're gonna have the negative criticism flying around, but you just got to overcome that and go again. So
thank you very much. RZ, big up yourself. Big up Tunde and Spencer. I'm 15. Yeah, there we go. RZ says, big up Tunde and Spencer. I'm 15 in the last year of my school. I've started a YT boxing media channel as a side thing. Any advice that you could give me? Unable to jump on an interview. I'm a big fan of boxing and AY. Big up yourself for that. Listen, bruv, you started it. That is it. You know what I mean? You can't, you're in the races now. You started it and push forward. And easiest thing, I'm going to tell you from my own experience, build relationships. Do you know what I mean? But build genuine relationships. Don't just, because like people could see for it. Everyone's trying to come and kick around you and all the rest of it. Build proper relationships and study boxing. Because you want to also come, because everyone now, they're seeing, like, you're hearing certain YouTubers that earning X amount of money off of their channels and stuff like that. You just try and run to say, all right, let me just jump on and build a channel. You build a channel, what's your content? What's gonna separate you and make you different from everybody else? The thing that makes me and Tunde different from everyone else, because we're actually how we are on here, we're like this if you come see us on the street. You know what I mean? And be engaging. That's what I'm saying to you. But graft, but study boxing, my friend. You know what I mean? Loads of guys do boxing, don't study it. Study the game.
Well, RZ, I'm one of those parents who I don't butter the thing. Like, Spencer's one of them parents who just come smooth up your skin. Oh, don't worry. Nice. Everything will be nice. But you see me, I just tell it how it is. Boxing is not a side thing. Boxing, like, you don't do boxing as a side channel. If you want to be successful, and this is why I always ask anyone who says they want to come into boxing, what's your ambition? Because you will be tied to the people who have equal or higher ambition. You can't just use boxing as a side channel and then think you can get big interview with Tunde Ajayi, Anthony Young, and Spencer Fearon. No, brother, it don't work like that. You have to earn this thing. So I want to know what your ambition is, RZ. Spencer did say the right thing. Whatever you want to do, you have to put full effort into it, study the thing as though you love it. But me, Tunde Ajayi, I'm not on that level where I'm dealing with a man who's in it for a side business. You can't get no interview from me. I just tell you how it is. So I always see you on this. And what I do respect is, if school is taking a priority over the boxing channel, then I will say continue on that route, because schooling is the most important thing. Your education is the most important thing. But the side thing, I'm not on that. I'm not no side chick. You don't get no interview with no. I'm not no side chick. So yeah, but RZ, keep doing what you're doing. Stay in school. Educate yourself. You're studying boxing, but you're studying boxing, and you need to continue to do that. So thank you for the support, and hope to see you somewhere on your journey. Big up. Moving forward. Let's go. This is a great show this evening. Yeah, bro, you know I'm on the harsh truth. I'm not no buttering man about side thing. You can interview me too, bro. Yeah, there's a lot of people that you can interview me. I've been watching boxing since I was 5, but I just started the channel. a few months ago. Keep doing what you're doing because you got the knowledge. If you've been watching it since you're 5, then obviously you're
You picked up, man. I like that. I'm not looking.
Watching it from your 5. You're showing the interest. You know, having a channel. So, bro, you know me. I'm sorry. I'm talking about one thing and then switching to another thing. I'm the African dad. I'm not in no buttering. Nothing.
As Bobby Wright has just put out there. And thank you so much, Bobby Wright, for the £4.49. Much appreciated, greatly appreciated. And yeah.
Man said he's watching Teletubbies at 5.
Says he's watching Teletubbies at 5. Yeah. So I got to say this, like, going back to the major point, we were talking about DILLIAN WHYTE.
No, wait there, because we're going into a different era. But I like this kind of conversation. Does schooling really give you a? Hold on, where's the question gone? I'm gonna let you answer this first, Spence, because you know this is the great thing about this channel. We're very diverse and we touch all areas because we can do it. This is our platform and we can talk about what we want to talk about. This is why we have so many subscribers to the channel. But anyway, Matt one says, does schooling really give you the base you need for success nowadays? I have my doubts. Well, I'm going to tell you straight, that's because you didn't probably do no schooling. Bro, every man who always says, I've got doubts about schooling and education and everything, usually they haven't done no schooling. I'll be honest with you. If I didn't find my passion, I probably wish I would have paid more attention to schooling because it is a platform, it's a foundation. Everything is based on your knowledge. Schooling can give you a certain type of knowledge, which then leads into experience. And so sometimes you could be, you can enter a meeting. If you haven't got if you're not surrounded by smart people, you can be in a meeting with people who have more schooling than you. They know more than you, which puts you at a disadvantage. So I don't advise anyone to miss schooling. And nowadays you can do things like homeschooling as well. I think some of your kids homeschooled, Spence. I'm not too sure, but
they were.
But schooling is very important, and I don't have no doubts about that, Matt one. I believe schooling it's needed. It's needed because one way, and if it's not needed, you better have some money to employ people that's going to help you. Again, Spence, what's your take on that?
You know what? I agree with you, but I'm saying but what I am saying is this. School teachers, you got to think about it. You know what I mean? I've got 4 children in school. Me as a father or their mother has that child, you think about it, on a week-to-week basis, 5 days in a week, right? On a week-to-week, on those 5 days, we get the child is with you, where your quality time, when you get home from school, you're going 4:30, they had the dinner at 5, right? My kids are in bed by 7:30. That's how we run in my house. You're going to bed at 7:30, right? So you can get those hours in your sleep. The school teacher has your child from 9 o'clock to 3:30. So the school has a great influence over your child. So you have to make sure that you're putting in that work with that child, because certain things that are being taught to school teachers, so you got to think about it. School teachers, there's only certain school teachers that are very, very passionate. Otherwise, you must have a certain school teacher that you had when you was at school that was passionate. You got on and I wonder what they're doing. I was very, very fortunate that I had really cool school teachers. You know what I mean? Who pushed me. You knew Spencer just loves boxing. Because when I was in geography class, I know that I had my boxing history book, the Nate Fletcher book of the history of boxing, in the class reading it, and the teacher never bothered me. Teachers knew, right, you are just too passionate about this thing, right? Yes. So kind of pushed to my passion about this thing, right, Spence, but don't take liberties. So we set you tasks to go do, make sure you go do it. So I'm thankful for that, because going to school, getting to school on time, certain disciplines, those things are nice for the discipline. I'm not knocking that. school is important because man can't tell you, you can't walk into a certain job and say you want to be a brain surgeon if you ain't studied for it. So where's that come from? That comes from schooling. That comes from education. You're not going to say to him, boy, what do you do to become a brain surgeon? Boy, I watched some open university on the TV, so I think I'm going to be all right. You're going to trust that person to do no operation for you. So there's certain things there's certain things that are procedures that you have to go through. Am I saying school is the only way? No way. You know what I mean? The School of Hard Knocks is one of the best schools ever. You know what I mean? So, and also, common sense ain't that common. Not people who have all your degrees. I've got family members that got degrees up their bottom. But when it comes to common sense, they're as thick as arseholes, mate. So it is what it is. But I'm not going to neglect to nobody say like, oh, well, then don't pay no mind in school. You got to do what you got to do. You know what I mean? Hey, what man said, Swifty trying to take liberties. Yeah, trust me, I was never ever late for school. Never late.
Yeah, but you're late for this show. But anyway,
of course, it's my choice.
Let's not also forget that school is known in Latin as the alma mater, the other mother. So this buttresses what you're saying about send your children to school, but you have to sometimes reprogram them when they come home.
You have to.
So this is why school in Latin is the alma mater, the nourishing mother, the other mother. So, exactly. But even your study is a form of schooling. So schooling is important. You've been schooled in boxing, hence having all those boxing books. So school is important. Matt One, you said the reason why I've left a comment. He said, "I'm successful in a 4-bedroom house with Gray's D&E." Matt One, I'm not being disrespectful, but a 4-bedroom house is not success to some people.
Leo.
So wait. Let me touch it. A 4-bedroom house is success to you.
Ben Oldham, shut up, Tundi.
Wait, man.
Tundi, be quiet.
All right, cool.
Ben Oldham, no.
Wait. All right, snap. No. Let me do it one by one. Because you set the precedent. First, Nebraska.
Salute.
Thank you for the £2. Can you talk about Lawrence Okolie versus Eddie Hearn? We'll get back to that.
Yep.
Second Snapchat, I believe, was from the lovely Leah. Oh, I'm going through $17.99. You know I'm back, Spence, because the Snapchat start come regular again.
I'm telling you.
Leah O says, have to agree, it is foundational. Most of the people who are successful in the absence of education are surrounded by the most educated people. Alan Sugar, Floyd, and Al Heyman, the system is not perfect, but it has its place.
And Tony, since Leah, bare gunshots in the air, bare gunshots, hitting my ceiling, you know what I mean? Coming down on my head. Thank you very much. Again.
Leah O, thank you for the $17.99. This is what I'm trying to tell, man. Like,
right there.
The great thing about the fight is that we have people here, educated people as well, who listen to this show and view their opinion, their own personal opinions. But Leah O, thank you for the $17.99. I'm gonna read it again because it's such a great piece. She says, have to agree. Education, it is foundational. Schooling is foundational. Most of the people who are successful in the absence of education are surrounded by the most educated people. Alan Sugar, Floyd, and Al Heyman. The system is not perfect, but it has its place. Boom, boom, boom. Gunshot rolling out. Oh, moving swiftly. The one and only, the man... Mr. Fight is Right himself, the one and only Ben Oldham, 100 squiller. A man like Ben Oldham, nobody puts £100 in the collection pot week in, week out like Ben Oldham. He said, listen, this is a man, I've seen his office. You talk about 4-bedroom house. I've seen the office. I've seen the plant of this man, what this man has achieved, him and his wife. Ben Oldham says, education is the passport to one's future. The future belongs to those who work hard today. Just work hard in whatever you do. You will always be rewarded. Jesus Christ.
Thank you. And Boxing Boxer says Ben is qualified to talk about
Listen,
money.
no.
Right?
This is what I'm trying to say. You got to say these things twice. When it sounds so nice, you play it twice. When it sounds so sweet, it's the instant repeat. So let me repeat that again from Ben Odom. Education, listen, is the passport to one's future. The future belongs to those who work hard today. Just work hard in whatever you do. You will always be rewarded. And let me echo something I was talking to my barber the other day. I say nowadays, there's this saying going around. You got to work smarter, not harder. I'm like, hold on. Why can't you be both? Why can't you work smart and hard? Why is it man always try to water down the thing? No, brother. There is nobody up there who is just working smart. I'm telling you, they've put in the hours. They've worked extremely hard.
You have to. You know what I mean?
Again, it's not about blowing my own trumpet, but you know where I'm coming from, Spence.
Come on. Like I said, Les Brown. I mean, when I phoned Tundi, when I was with Les Brown, you know, when I FaceTime you was on the train, remember? You going to Manchester. Remember that?
Yes, sir.
Right. And Les Brown has a saying that it's not that people aim too high and miss, is that they aim too low and hit.
Come
Do you know
on.
what I mean? So,
Like
right. So everything is about the graft. And anybody thinking that you're just gonna sit down on your bum and like it's gonna come to you, it doesn't happen. It's never gonna come.
Big
You know what I mean?
lie.
Right. You got a graft.
And as I said, Ben Odom is well qualified. I've seen his body of work. It's absolutely amazing. My jaw almost dropped when he sent me the thing. And Ben, don't worry. You know, we got a lot of things to catch up on.
Azim Khan, thank you so much for the £10. I'm not forgetting you. And I like the fact that you have
Big up Azim.
of Muhammad Ali up there as well, that side profile picture with him in his bow tie. And I can actually tell you when that picture was taken. That picture was taken in 1964, just after him defeating Sonny Liston. So that picture was about end of February of 1924. So anyway.
Azim Khan,
1964.
Azim Khan says, my 9-year-old son told me, if I don't know how to do my math, how am I going to teach my kid math? This is serious. This is how children are talking. And this is excellent. Big up Miss Ringside. Ben busting it up, Mark. Selector to the... It's coming like a dance this evening. This show is a fantastic show this evening. SS10, thank you for the £2. If you can give a kid one thing, give them education. Again, this show tonight is a real diamond. Leah,
I hear that one. I like that. If you could give a kid one thing, you give them beatings. That's what you do, because the beatings are discipline.
Bruv, stop it with that. Bruv, we don't want no child abuse people coming on our thing about getting beaten. Don't come with the West Indian, African old mentality right here.
I know you used to get beaten regularly, you know.
Again, my dad never beat me. As a Nigerian parent.
You know what? Your dad wasn't really Nigerian.
No. My dad used to get beaten and never wanted to put his child through that. And I thank my father. He never ever beat me. Ever. In a Nigerian man never beat his child ever. That's why I'm different.
That's why you're different, because
that's me.
That is why you're different.
We can't get enough times when parents used to beat their children. They're taking out their frustrations on the youth.
Well, seeing as we're talking about beatings and my country done my bona fides on here, right? Let me tell you this. Country had a cousin, yeah? I'm not going to call his cousin's name, but his cousin was bad when he was little. And when I mean the whole family beat him, you know?
What's the matter?
Country's dad come out the house, country's dad can walk fast, you know? Country's dad come and beat, you come here. He beat him. Everybody beat him.
Spencer, bro, country. I don't know what's the matter with Spencer. Anyway, Adifa Sandohati, big up the both of you. Good show, always Who should AJ get as his next trainer, and should he move to the US to train for his comeback fight? And should it be Dylan? Will the Fury fight ever happen in 2023? Now, as far as I know, there have been no talks on AJ getting a new trainer.
There is. You're late. Because I know Tundi don't watch nothing. Yeah, there's talk that the new trainer is actually going to be Roy Jones Jr.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I'm going to be real with you, and I love Roy. I love everything that Roy represents. I don't think Roy Jones would be...
But I don't... Like, wouldn't you get someone whose style... You know, because Roy Jones Jr. is not going to train you to fight like Evander Holyfield.
I know it.
Because he don't know. A man is only going to give you what he knows. So you have to look at the body of work of the ex-fighter who have now become a trainer and ask yourself, does that style, does that man's body of work suit you? Just like if you look at the people that were Buddy McGirt, he's trying to school them. Even though I heard Derek say that Buddy, was it Derek I heard say? No, it was Dylan I heard say that Buddy doesn't try to change your style. But if you've been doing something for 20 years, that's what you are. Yeah. So again, people have to be mindful of what they're hearing and letting come into their ears.
Listen,
you are what you are, and you can power it any way
I'm telling you, the talk is that because they had when they was out in Saudi, but when they was out in Dubai recently, and Roy Jones, apparently I ain't gonna call the guy's name, but he was saying like, but I was on the phone to him this morning, ex-fighter, very good fighter, former British and world title challenger, and they were saying, yeah, when he was out in Dubai, he saw Roy Jones do.
No, bro, not this African. My dad is different, bro.
He was saying that he saw Roy Jones do work with Badu Jack, and he was saying like Roy was trying to teach them how to fight like him, right? And I'm saying, let's not. Roy Jones, fantastically gifted human being, right? But don't say like Roy Jones was gifted. Roy Jones had the intellect as well.
Yes.
Right? Because you can be gifted all you want, but if you haven't got the intellect to administer the work that you're meant to go do, then it's a waste of time. Roy Jones was ridiculously talented, but he had the brains and the capacity of mind to administer the body of work that he did right throughout his career. I'll give him that. But Roy Jones, to me, would be the wrong person for Anthony Joshua. And I'm going to tell you why. Chris Eubank Jr., right person for Roy Jones to be working with, because Chris Eubank Jr. looks up to Roy Jones and he's trying to emulate certain things that Roy Jones is trying to do. But I think but I don't think he'd be suited for Anthony Joshua simply because Anthony Joshua is a heavyweight.
Yeah.
Right? Anthony Joshua's plyometrics of his body and his body mechanics is totally different to anything that Roy Jones will encounter, where Roy Jones be there trying him to throw 4 left hook, 5 left hook. Anthony Joshua can't do that. I mean, even though Anthony Joshua is mad athletic, but I don't think that would be the right choice. But in saying it, it'd be a better guy for him to be with than his current crop of people that he's with.
Okay.
And that's me just being real.
Let me read out these Snapchats. Lev, thank you for the £4.49. Do you guys think the unfortunate recent passing of Dylan's nephew affected his preparation? I find it hard not to believe it was a normal camp. Did his nephew pass? I didn't know that.
Gappy's son, yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you know what? I believe that could have had something to do with it, but I also just think he was flat anyway.
He was flat, definitely.
He was definitely flat going into that fight. But that is a very good question that they just asked, because you know what? Because of the horrible situation of how the young man passed away, Lamar, how he passed away, we haven't really spoken about it or been on it. But obviously those things can play in your mind. Obviously. You know what I mean? So that could have something to do with it. But I like the fact that I spoke to Dylan this morning, and Dylan said, I don't business what anyone wants to say. You know what I mean? I went in there, I got the win, and I got paid. So anyway, so don't.
That's typical Dylan.
Yep.
That's typical Dylan. Anyway, Bobby Wright, thank you for the 449. He said, when you was talking about education, I lost my old man 4 years today, but feel so lucky to me, you too. So I'm still learning every day. Big up, Bobby Wright.
Yes, man. Bobby, my condolences.
You have become not just a simple subscriber, not just a friend. You've actually become family.
1 million. Bobby Wright, the real one. You know what I mean? My heart goes out to you, Bobby. But you know, like I always say, people only die when you forget them. You know what I mean? But I know those kind of ones. You know what I mean? I do. And it's, I'll big up Bobby because you're a real one.
Matt, while we're going into, the technical aspects of AJ now, which is not really the topic this evening. But it's been we've gone past time, but it's been such a great show, Spence.
It's brilliant.
I'm trying to think what else we could have. We've touched on the two main fights. We touched on Adam Azim's fantastic victory tonight, the pulling out of Lerone Richards, the win of Lawal, becoming the British cruiserweight champion.
I'm going to go watch all those fights after this, because I'm going to be...
Fantastic victory by Fabio Wardley last night, becoming the British heavyweight champion, disposing of Gorman in fantastic style. And yes, the 2 points which we haven't spoke about. First, Lawrence Okolie and Eddie Hearn. I'll be honest with you, I don't know nothing about it, but I've heard there's something going on with Spence.
Lawrence don't play. Lawrence Okolie is saying that he's now out of contract. It's kind of weird because you also see Lawrence with AJ out in Dubai. They're out partying and in the gym training and stuff like that, which is kind of cool. But his beef is with Eddie Hearn, and so the man's saying like, right, you're moving different, but he's just saying like, I've had enough, and I want to do my own thing. So through the grapevine, he's been offered a lot of money to fight on the Sky shows on Boxer, and potential fights would be him versus what's my boy there, Richie Rapp. Yeah, that's a big fight that they're looking to make this summer. Eddie Hearn saying like, if you leave us, we're going to sue you. Simple as that. Because you owe us one fight. So you can't go nowhere and fight anywhere else because you owe us one fight. So we're sitting down patiently to see what will happen. Lawrence is still training. He's training very hard. He's taking his way out because he's out in Dubai in the heat. So he's training hard, doing his bits out there. And we're going to see what's going to happen. But that's what's happened. But the back and forth was like Lawrence Okolie and that guy. Lawrence Okolie was like spitting fire on Eddie Hearn on social medias. You know what I mean?
Is that a wise move, Spence?
Pardon me? Is that a wise move for him to leave? Lawrence, if you believe in your will, you know what? Lawrence Okolie, as far as I'm concerned, is an amazing overachiever. Right? He's an amazing overachiever. Amazing overachiever. Right? The first one out of the Olympics, when everyone was gassing up all the rest of the boys, them, you know what I mean? Cordina, Boazzi, he just carried on doing his thing. Carried on doing his thing. First, check this one out. Lawrence Okolie has won the British, Commonwealth, European. It's nuts, isn't it? And
did he win the European? You sure he won the European?
I think did he win? No, British, Commonwealth, WBO world title.
Yes.
Right. Remember, as a complete novice, him and Isaac Chamberlain sell at the O2.
Yes.
Right? In British beef, that turned out to be British vegan because there were no beef in that fight. Right? But regardless, it was still, so everything that he has done, we gotta salute to you and we gotta props what he's done. And now, and the thing about it is this, he truly believes. You know what I mean? So his belief rhetoric surpasses anything of what we think is meant to happen for him. So he's made fantastic money and he's saying, right, I deserve more money than what I'm getting. He's complaining about the money again.
Okay, so forgive me if I'm wrong. Doesn't your pay equal your drawing power?
It does. But the thing about it is this, because he was with 258. Oh, sorry, sir. I read Lawrence Okolie's former trainer, so he's left Shane McGuigan. I didn't even know he's left Shane McGuigan.
Wow.
Recently say that he's not that active. I can't even see it because he keeps on twisting up.
Let me just firstly, because this guy reminded me. Ghost knows boxing. How good is Azim? Can he be multiple weight champion? We've already touched on that, and I said, me personally, I believe he can become a multiple weight champion. So thank you for the
£2.
For the £2. Wave, did you talk about Gorman? Yes, we did. Now let me find this question you're talking about, Spencer. What is it? What was it saying? Who was it by?
Adi Ifsan.
Adi Ifsan. Let me see. Let me go down. I read Lawrence Okolie. That one. I read Lawrence. I read Lawrence Okolie, former trainer. Shane say recently he is not that active in the gym and is not sure if they will work again, but they still talk. That is quite interesting.
Well, what it is this? Shane's a good trainer, man. I rate Shane. I think he's good. You know what I mean? I think he's a good trainer. Shane working with Lawrence Okolie, I found that, to be real, I found that a strange mix. Especially
when Danny Dubois in the gym.
Yeah, I found that a strange mix.
I didn't think that would go down well.
It won't. It wouldn't. It wouldn't. So he's doing most of his workout in America, not in America, in Dubai now, with them little old Yankee man who are in Dubai training guys. So he's doing his workout there. And I told you again, Lawrence Okolie has a ridiculous right hand on him. You know what I mean? And he's improving. But like I said, his self-belief out of 100 is 250. It's nuts. It's not put on, it's not fake, it's real.
But he's not fighting those guys.
I know he's not fighting. But, I know that I believe I've heard that he's meant to be leaving to go to Sky. And right now, he's got to go deal with the legal side of that.
So
I'm going to sue.
So then there's going to be a legal process.
There is. But allegedly, this is what I'm saying, allegedly, through the grapevine I'm hearing. You know what I mean? Like what Tundi's hearing through the grapevine from yesterday, right? Allegedly through the grapevine, Tom, is that he didn't sign the contract to renew. 258 signed the contract on his behalf. So he's saying, that don't stand because I didn't sign it.
Well, this is nonsense. But again, this is what I'm trying to say. Like, who is advising these young men? Come and check me. You young bosses, come check me. Because I don't know who's advising these young men to sign pieces of paper that they haven't looked at.
He didn't sign it, though.
Huh?
He didn't sign it.
What I'm trying to say is, but you signed with the people
who
signed on your behalf. So now you're letting the people see my business head, and I don't really need to show that.
You don't need to talk about it. Then.
But what I'm trying to say is, I will say it because we're talking about it. You are trusting the people to sign on your behalf who you signed with. So you obviously didn't look at your contract with 258, giving them the power to sign deals and contracts on your behalf. Now that is negligent. And I don't even want to continue because it's not my business. But please, young men, make sure you know what you're doing when you assign any piece of paper. Get somebody to look at it. Get somebody you trust. And because once you sign, and the people that you sign with get you to a certain level, you ain't just walking out of that. You got to pay. You got to pay. And this could have a serious effect on your career moving forward. So let's just, it's business. And that's the side I don't really want to go into on this show. I'm going to keep it nice and level-headed. But come on, Lawrence, I want to see you fighting. And I think you need to take this up. You need to get this moving. You need to sort this situation out. Anyway, so the last point I think is Liam Smith versus Chris Eubanks Jr. That is going to be a good fight.
Good fight, Tom. Very, very good fight. And you know what? Depending on what, because I remember that years ago, about 5 years ago, they sparred each other, yeah? And when I heard about the spar, I said, what, did Eubank break him up? And I know man that was there was saying, nah, Spence. Nah, it was a proper rumble. Them two had a proper rumble. It weren't one-sided or anything. It was an even spar, but it was a rockers. So maybe I believe that he's got that in his head now, how to take this fight. Or not only that, but they're looking at Eubank to think, remember, Beefy's a seasoned professional, you know. When he with Canelo, Beefy is a seasoned professional.
Very, very, very good fighter.
Right.
A very good fighter. A solid fighter.
All right.
Eubanks is gonna have to be on his. He's gonna need to be more than 60% for this one, mate.
Okay. Right, and that's what I'm saying. That ain't no joke. That's not a joke fight. My guy can fight. He can fight, bro. It's gonna be a good fight, man.
Okay, Adam Smith.
Everyone's talking about this Adam Smith thing. What do the guys say?
For the job, like we probably can come in as a little anchor man for the fighters, right? You know,
right. Fight man says what? Guys, thoughts on Adam Smith getting sacked for gambling on fights? Number one is this.
Yeah,
I don't know that.
Before you start, Spence, be careful what you say.
1,000,000%. Yeah, come on. 1,000,000%. Listen, I don't know.
Wait. Be careful what you say on so information.
Thank you.
Talk about the facts.
Right. I'm going to say again. I don't know nothing about any of that. What I'm going to say is this, yeah? My 9.5 years at Sky, yeah, Adam Smith was very helpful to me because you know what I'm about. Like, I'm not the easiest person to get on with, right? You know what I mean? Like,
hey, what you doing in the yard, man?
My son's making his hot chocolate before he goes to bed.
What, with knife and fork?
No, he's looking for the long spoon. You know the long spoons together, right? That's what you're looking for, isn't it, Marzi? Yeah. But you know, then you head with your shiny teeth, right? So I think he's bleaching his teeth like you know, Tony. I'll tell you, why his teeth, you know?
You're making me swear on the thing,
right? So what I'm saying is like, as Tony talk about the so, it's like what I've noticed about human nature is like we love it. Like we're using somebody else's misfortune, if it is a misfortune because we don't know, like that's the thing to props us up. Someone else's misfortune ain't propsing me up. You know what I mean? Someone else's success props me up because I'm seeing where they are and I can reach out to them. And if they're real, they're going to say, come with me. That's how the thing goes. So, you know what I mean? When certain people fall, don't laugh. Learn. So I don't know about none of this. So. I wish Adam Smith and his family all of the best. And I'm saying, like, just keep it plowing forward because, like I said, over the last few months, that man on interviews has been props in the fight is right.
Yes,
regular,
sir.
Right?
Yes,
regular. Calling Tundi Ajay, calling Spencer from props in the fight is right. Hard. So am I going to sit back and say, what they've been going through for? Everybody goes through it. But like I said, the boxing community, when my mum chipped out, were very, very supportive. And when he heard the news of my mum, he was phoning, send me your address, let me send you something, and and all the rest of it. And those are the things, like I'm a very sentimental person, I look out for those things. So I wish Adam Smith nothing but the best.
Come on.
And that's that.
Adam has actually been the fabric of boxing commentary in this country for the last 10, 15 years. His voice is synonymous with excitement.
A cacophony of punches being rained.
Adam Smith, bro, he's a done. I don't know about this personal business, what's going on. Not really my business like that. But I know Adam Smith is a fantastic commentator. The man loves boxing inside out. And whatever he's going through, we wish him all the best and a speedy recovery if there's a problem like that. God bless you, sir. Moving forward, SS10, thank you for the £5. Yeah, you know that. Leah O, people love curry news to Wrigley's spearmint gum. Anyway, SS10, thank you for the £5. people talking a lot of rubbish about Adam Smith. He has done a lot for British boxing and let people deal with their own problems. God bless you all. Just echoing my sentiments. Thank you, sir. I'm telling you, this guy, Adam Smith, his voice is so iconic in British boxing. We need him, and let's just wait and see what happens. But whatever it is, we should do the best. Anyway, Spence, bro, this show has been lit. What do young people say? Lit. The show's been lit today, bro.
Right. Like, listen to me, man. It's been great. You know, we weren't meant to be on there for an hour, but you know when we just get into the banter talk and everything else, and it's been, like I said, I'm going to go watch that fight now. That's what I'm gonna go do. I'm gonna go watch Tundi's nephew.
It brought the brothers joy, you know. It brought my man joy.
He beat the guy in the boxing competition prior. I remember that.
But it was a good fight, you know. It was a good fight. It was moving a good fight. But obviously,
remember Noel used to be with that Asian brother, Ali.
What? He's not with him? Oh yeah,
he left him, man.
No, I was with John Tafik, and I was looking for John. I was like, yeah, John, good. And then I see he's got a new team.
Hey, dash way that man there.
Anyway, let me just sign off.
That's the waste.
Mohammed Ahmed, thank you for the 449. Tundi Spence, do you think Adam Azim should be stepped up faster as he's knocking out the current guys in 1 or 2 rounds? Well, this is what I would say. It's actually going to be a very, very, very expensive problem to match Adam Azim because he's a talented boy who domestically, these guys ain't going to be able to live with him. He's just too good. He's just too good. So then you are faced with the problem about matching him. Do you put him in British title fights? You know, you don't want to rush him. I think a few good, leave him in the gym. Don't put him out every week. Leave him developing in the gym, growing in the gym. Give him some few Eastern European guys. And, you know, listen, Alex Ferguson used to say, if they're good enough, they're old enough. I don't know if boxing, the same adage carries through to boxing, but it's going to be they're going to have a problem on their hands because this kid is a special talent.
Yeah, anyway, Wade said Siobhan Clark was moving rude with that uppercut, and it was a vicious uppercut that he clapped the brother with. Let me just big up Siobhan Clark, really cool.
Big up
Chev 4, C4, big boy. I mean, that was proper. When we talk about Adam Aziz versus Florian Marku, Adam Aziz would bruck up Florian Marku.
Yeah, because didn't that guy beat Florian?
Yeah.
You see?
No, he never beat Florian. But that guy boxed Florian. I think he wobbled him up and he dropped him or something. I can't remember.
Okay, yeah. Well,
Adam, no, listen, I'm telling you now, Adam Aziz, even though it's only a weight difference, because my man's a welterweight, Adam Aziz is boxing at light bar. Right? Adam Aziz would spark Florian Marku.
Yeah, Adams, it's just going to be a problem. And they're going to, you know, listen, the kid has got ambitions to be the youngest British world champion. And he used to say he can't do it because what I saw this evening was what I saw when he was 7 years old, 8 years old. Lightning speed, accuracy, and power. So let's go. Adam Lord,
thank you very much for that £10. Disclaimer, I am not a boxer, LOL. What was McGurk's reason for wanting Dillian to jab and throw rights to the body? Dillian seemed to have more success when he brawled. And I'll break this down really quickly for you, because I don't want Tundi to go into his mental banks for boxing right now. I want Tundi to save that for his study, because I know after he gets off here, he's going to go study. The reason being why Buddy McGurk was telling to Dillian White to jab more was simply because everything comes off of the jab, right? Everything comes off of the jab, and the jab's actually the key to open doors, right? And the old boxing adage is like, a big right hand takes you around the corner, a jab takes you all around the world. And I think it was more because he saw that Dillian was flat. So he's thinking, right, if you're constantly jabbing, then you're going to think, right, what's going to come off of the jab? My right uppercut can come off of the jab. My left hook can come off of the jab. My straight hand, overhand right can come off of the jab. And that's why Buddy McGurk was saying that to Dillian to jab more. So then everything else can come off of that combination. When you walk into a gymnasium as a young man, Tony can tell you, I can tell you, when you walk into a gymnasium, the first thing that you do when you're taught to box is how to stand with your feet correctly, and the first punch you are taught is how to throw the jab. So therefore, he's trying to bring it back to the old school, but then maybe to bring it back to the old school, then Dillian could actually throw other things off of the back. And while we're talking about Dillian, let me just try that little yardie boy one more time, yeah? Because man try to hear me.
Oh, then, and I got a bone to pick with you.
What?
What happened to Tommy Earns?
You know what? Tommy, he rang me, you know?
Bruv, I told you, stop talking.
Yeah, he rang me, and he goes, can we do it at such and such time? I said, no, because it's got to be to the England time. So I said, no, forget it.
Let me tell you what Tommy Earns is doing. Tommy Earns is watching the England game. Tommy was watching the England game. I told you don't say it. I told you do not say it. Because you're putting a bad thing in it. I don't know. Anyway, we may get Tommy Earns one day. Tommy Earns was watching the England game. 100% he was. Gary, you know that, innit? Spencer's like, no. Trust me, it don't matter. We can tell them. I'm like, cool, watch. You know, Spencer love listening to me when it's too late. Anyway, don't bother. Dylan's chilling, man.
I love business. You have to answer the phone. Just give us 2 seconds. Yeah, Peru, I should have got Okolie, but maybe we'll get Okolie next week for definitely.
All right, let me just round off the show because it's 9:30. We've gone past 30 minutes past our scheduled hour show. So let me what's this? Let me just end by just saying a shout out to a few people that have joined us on tonight. SS10, Boxing Bot, Barry Cubs, Miss Ringside, Michael Manning, Bafor, Original Regular, Fight Man, Ronin Sevens, Courtney Don, Country Don, sorry, aka the Chairman, Bob Senna, so many people here. May Kuta, thank you, sir. Ghost Nose Boxing, Adi Fisan, Doherty, he was with us. Adam Lord, thank you for the £10 also. Boxing Bot, I think I've said that. Anbu Everything, thank you for joining us. Chatting boxing with Yemi Babatunde. You know Babatunde, you get dash out the jungle. Babatunde get dash out. He was like the last black brother. He get dash out the jungle.
Nah, I want to know what's the world coming to when a black man gets kicked out the jungle. Anyway.
Old tight wave, Christopher Anthony, Muhammad Ahmed, Dirty Girl, thank you for the donation as well. Come on, I've already said Barry, Brian Johnson, Leah, the lovely Leah, Ben, one and only Odom, £100 strong. He gave £100 tonight, £100 yesterday. Wow, this guy's different level. Rob Mayer, going Lee 66, Mind Mastery Strategist, always there on set, backing us.
Sorry to cut you. Yeah, SS10 says Spence. What was the beef between Amir Khan and Hamza Shiraz? Did you see that?
A beef.
Yeah. There was some beef thing going on with them.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought they're family.
Yeah, well, there's some beef thing going on.
Okay, Pink Tulip. Anyway, all in all, Christopher Anthony, hold tight. All in all, Snaps. Yeah, you was there as well tonight. All in all, it's been a great show, Spence. Very informative.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good show. I'm looking forward to the week. We got to put down in this. I mean,
bro, you're talking like you're banning weed again, man. Look at your eyes. Look at my eyes. Gary, you see Spencer? Spencer's got his glasses on. He's like, yeah, it's a good show. Thank you for everyone.
I was looking at. I was reading the things.
Bro, Spence, you need to liven up, bro. You need to liven up. Old tight Jermaine Williams in the building as well. Jermaine, listen, we need to put a rocket up at Spencer's. Dirty girl. You hear Spencer? Spencer's like, yeah, thank you, everybody.
Nah, you know what? Because I was reading the comments, that's why. Read the comments. Calm down, you lot, man.
Man, look like Man look like he's bunning a Bob Marley spliff. He got a little tenor
I've
stand
never
there.
smoked anything in my life. But if you get too smart, I might smoke you.
Old tight kids, stay in school. Education is the passport to your success. And Ben Odom and many others, Leah O, Miss Ringside, are true examples of that mind mastery strategist, a woman who's come from the ends, just like me. We grew up together, raised children, scientists, geniuses. This is it. So, as a parent, just try to set their example. And thank you all for joining us today. Wonderful Sunday service as usual. Let's end, Spence.
Yeah, man.
By saying, Spencer, don't come with no old man tactics again. Bro, what's about? Gary, did you see Spencer? He took off his glasses and he went, from his eyes. He had to lift his eyes, hold eyes up. Spencer just give me a joke, bro. Spencer, I don't know what you do about me, Spencer. Bro, I don't know what you do about me. But anyway, you know, bro, your bro's there backing you 1,000,000%. Anyway, yeah, he's tired. He's definitely tired. And, you know, he's a man who's taking care of everything now. You see how hard women have it? You see how hard women have it?
I want to listen to me. 2 days, trust me, it's not easy.
But your missus is gone for 2 days. You look Chinese. Your eyes. Sorry, bro. That might offend some people. But
and he's actually not offending no one because I do have Chinese blood in my family. So don't think.
Okay, big up.
Been that for a long time. You just forgot.
And we got our fans, Tintin from China. Big up Tintin. But we got supporters all over the world.
All over the world, bro.
I know, man. I can't say that, but you know, listen. It's better. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, before I get myself in any more trouble, and let me end the show. Man, call you old foot. But I say, no, especially old foot. He's doing some serious daddy duties right now. What? I'm there folding him. He's folding me. I mean, kids running up and down.
Bro, attacking me, everything.
Man said, end this thing. SS said, sorry. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let us end the show in the magical words. Thank you all for joining us. 305 still with us by saying, dream it, believe it, become it.
Come on down, peace to fingers. See you maybe in a week. We're gone.
Yes, sir.